Well, good morning, friends, and welcome back to my garden. This is going to be a end of July garden tour. And we're starting out right here in the triangle garden. And I'm not a big fan of red in the garden, but these red cannas are beautiful. I was just going to cut the blooms off and just have the foliage. Can't talk this morning. But I can't bring myself to do it. I think they are gorgeous. And then the Supertunia Bordeaux. I'm not too crazy about purple and red together, but it is what it is this year. Excuse the water hose. I've left it a mess. But you can see that pink primrose is still giving me lots of bloom here. And this butterfly bush has really filled out. I'm gonna have to move this fountain probably on the inside of that, in front of the butterfly bush there. But you can see it's got lots of buds forming. And those white roses that I wish I had got more of when they had them at Lowe's this spring. Alright. So this main island garden bed here is really starting to pop with summer color. Start over here with this black and blue salvia. Is it black and blue or black and bloom? If you guys know, let me know in the comments. Oh, and the mosquitoes are out this morning. We've been on the rather cooler side of summer so far, but I think the heat is finally here and will probably stay. It's been nice though. Hot pink. This is a striking phlox. Hot pink phlox. Unfortunately, I don't know the variety. That spiderwort is still in bloom. And there is my white coneflower in here. I did have a bigger chunk of that. So things are really filling out in this main garden bed. This was the first flower bed besides the front landscape that I put in back here. If you've been with me from the beginning, there used to be a huge holly tree right there. It's trying to come back, but that was there when we first moved in, and then I just started out with a little garden around, little circle garden around that tree, and now 5 years later it has become this huge garden, which I am expanding, and I'll get to that in a minute. Daylilies. If you're wondering what that sound is, that is one of our ducks. Actually, they're both in here now. I don't know if you can see him. Gladius will be popping soon. Larkspur is still showing some bloom. But as I said, things are really starting to fill out and fill in this garden. Right here, this week, I pulled out a wild and crazy rose that was just taking over everything right here. So now you can see the autumn joy sedum. And it's beautiful. I forget the name of this. I'm gonna have to look it up so I can tell y'all. I'm terrible with the names, but just a beautiful daylily. One of my favorites. And White Wands Veronica. Speaking of things getting bigger and taking over, I forgot I had put these Easy Desert roses in here this spring. And now that things are filling out, they're almost hidden. Completely forgot about them. There's another one right here. I got those for like $10 last fall. They are a coral color rose. Alright, so y'all might remember that I picked up a couple white phlox and put them in here a few weeks ago. Well, we got some heavy rain, and this got really damp in here, down through here, so I didn't want to lose those, so I dug those up. And I did have, if you can see, that big mess of yellow daylilies there. Those were right here, so I dug those up and moved them there. And I put my white phlox in here and give them plenty of room to get big. Here's that purple spiderwort that I picked up this spring. So if you're new, this garden bed has a week ago, it ended right here. And last year I thought about expanding it and got your guys' opinion, and I think a couple of you said yes, I would expand it around this blue spruce. So that's what I worked on this week. So the lilies that were there went here. So I'm just using what I have. I didn't go out and get new plants to fill this in. I'm using what I already have. There is a clump of grass there that I got from my grandma last summer, which was in the back. That clump of grass was back there, so I dug that up and moved it there. Good morning. These two hostas here are new, just a few weeks ago. So it's going to curve around here and meet up right here. So we'll have a nice little pathway through here. And no, I'm not going to connect these two because I think we need a break in there for the eye. because I had thought about it, connecting this whole thing even around this tree, but I think we need a separation in there. Hosta garden. Which has been recently mulched. Looks a lot better. I've got to buy a few more hostas to fill in. Oh, real quick, I wanted to show you one of the daylilies that are blooming. I gotta get in here and weed this and put my flagstone down. Hopefully I'm not moving too fast for you guys. But I gotta get in here and weed this, and I want to put flagstone down. But in here, I think this is a piece of butterfly weed that has reseeded. So I'm gonna leave that there. Another daylily. And a volunteer sunflower in here that I just left. We've got 3 hibiscus in here. Those won't bloom till later in the season. So here is the daylily I wanted to show you. Again, I don't know the variety of those. I'm going to have to look that up so I can tell you guys. Here's the other side of that black and blue salvia. Now this started out with 3 little bitty plants. My grandma got her some and she got me 3, and that was a couple years ago. So this has really gotten big and filled in. So I think that at the end of the season or next spring, I'm gonna divide this. It was upright more, but those heavy rains we got has flattened it out a little bit. Look at that huge mess of yellow. Yellow daylilies. This dahlia is getting ready to bloom. I think that is the white one that I picked up at probably Home Depot in the bag. There's another one there. Alright, so that is the main flower garden there. I've got zinnias coming up in here. The zinnias are kind of slow this year. Usually those grow pretty fast. So in the back I had a clump of hibiscus, like a hot pink fuchsia color hibiscus, and I divided that in 3 pieces, and that is what is here. So I put 3 along here. This is a work in progress here, the new cottage garden. I did have burning bushes and hydrangeas in here, but I want cottage garden through here. anyway, I've got one centered in the middle, and then one on each end. Again, using what I have, because all of this back here is going to get reworked. Hope I'm not too bumpy. So this is a work in progress, y'all. I've got to get in here with my weed eater that my dad gave me, so I finally got a weed eater. So I'm going to put that to use today. Hydrangea here, I don't know if it's going to bloom for me this year, but that was one of the ones beside the garage. Solomon seal. Alright, so I'm going to go over here and talk real quick. I only have like a minute left on this video. So I've decided that I'm going to put a brick walkway or sidewalk down through here. But I'm going to use the, I've got these down just to kind of get an idea. But I want to use the brick pavers from Lowe's. They have like a little mix of the red and the gray. So anyway, down here will be a straight walkway.